Hello from the Music Interview Corner, day 2 at Tuska Open Air 22 with Reckless Love today with Olli. Hi Olli.
Hi, I don't know which hand sign to show, but anyway, that way.
Yeah, nobody really knows that. I think as long as the intention is good, it works.
Yeah.
So we had an interview about 10 years ago, 2013, 9 years ago at Tavastia Club, and a lot has happened since then. Yeah. You became a father. How does that feel and how did it change your life?
It's the best feeling in the world. I mean, all the cliches about fatherhood and parenthood, they're true because, you know, the cliches are cliches because they're true. And it's the best thing in the world. I never thought that there would be something more important to me than my music. But now there's, you know, a whole world fits into my arms.
That's wonderful. And I also heard you were a contestant at the show Myyrä, the Mule. How did you experience that?
That was the most fun thing that I've ever done on television or in any kind of TV program. Yeah, of course, besides music. But you know, reality TV it can be quite challenging, quite tedious, and there's a lot of waiting. But for that format, I loved it. We had a really great group there. We had like the whole team was awesome, and everybody got along very well, and I really loved it.
And was it a difficult decision for you to do that? Did you have doubts in the beginning?
Yeah, I actually doubted it for a while, but then I watched the previous season, and I fell in love with the show. It's all about positivity. It's not like you're not voting anybody off, because usually the reality TV shows are something, you know, I'm gonna vote her off, and you know she's annoying, and it's all about this negativity. And I don't really, because I'm the total opposite type of personality. I'm kind of like the opportunist, or you know, the optimist. Sorry, not the opportunist.
Both, maybe.
Well.
No, optimist, of course.
Well, I'll take the opportunity to say it.
You take the opportunity to say that you're an optimist.
Yeah, optimist, and of course a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. I don't really like to talk bad stuff about other people, and that show is all about, you know, everybody. It's kind of like a detective game.
Yeah.
Who's the mole? And if you don't know it, if you got the most wrong answers, you're gonna fall off from the race, and that's you got only yourself to blame after that.
How did you experience the lockdown? I think actually Reckless Love had an anniversary during the lockdown. How was it to celebrate your big anniversary during the lockdown?
We were supposed to have the biggest tour ever. We already booked like over 100 shows for the 10-year anniversary for the 10-year anniversary tour all around the world, and of course all got cancelled. So it was a bummer. But yeah, let's not think about that anymore. Now is now. It's all forgotten. Everything is getting back to what it used to be, or even better. And we got a new album out. The tour looks nice. We're going everywhere in the world. We are having a good time on stage. We have reimagined and reinvented ourselves in a funny fashion, because that's even more 80s than it was before. I thought that wouldn't be possible, but apparently it is. And of course, Reckless Love is kind of like the musical equivalent for, you know, people watch a lot of Stranger Things right now, and you know that's kind of like an imaginary version of the 80s. And same thing with Reckless Love. We are more 80s than the 80s.
I was thinking if there would be a live band performing on Stranger Things, it should be you.
I agree. Season 5.
You could have auditioned for the character of Eddie. You know, I think you would have been an amazing Eddie. I mean, the actor's amazing too, but you could have played that too.
Oh, Eddie is perfect for that role. I wouldn't have done any better role than that. But you know, I would love to do a cameo on a TV series someday. Maybe I should talk to the Finnish TV producers.
Oh, definitely. And you have experience now with reality TV. That should be a plus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and your 5th album, Turborider, came out, and as you said, it's more 80s than the 80s. And you even released a CD, an LP, and a portable video game. This is so amazing. Who had the idea for the game?
The idea for the game came from the record company, the German label called AFM, and I think that was the best decision ever made by a record company. It's brilliant. The video game is actually a handheld pocket device. It's kind of like a really small one, but it's kind of like retro games, like 150 games in that small console.
Wow.
I love that thing, and it's so cool. It reminds me of my childhood so much. There's even a song called Kids of the Arcade, and once the record company got a hold of the songs and the lyrics, they decided that okay, a game would be a perfect match for this box set, and I really agree with them.
I think it's an amazing idea. And do you have a favorite song on Turborider?
Yeah, Turborider.
Of course.
Well, that's the most fun one to sing live. And yeah, of course, I love Kids of the Arcade as well. I love to get to do Ozzy every night. Ozzy's Bark at the Moon is one of my favorite songs ever. I mean, I kind of like, I wasn't into the idea at first to make a cover of it, because it's kind of like a sacred piece of art. You can't make it any better. It's perfect as it is. But
You made it 80s at least.
Yeah, we made it even more 80s than it was.
And I really love your music video for Outrun. Who made the video concept?
Pete Voutilainen, a Finnish artist who does tattoos, all the visuals for the record, for Turborider, all the photographs, the artwork for the cover, all done by Pete.
Cool. I love the colors. It's really amazing.
I love them too, yeah.
And how does it work when you as a band, Reckless Love, makes some new music?
It changes between songs actually. So usually it goes with the idea of that Pepe comes with the guitar. We start writing a melody for it, and Pepe does most of the melodies usually. And we often tend to work with a producer, so we co-write the songs with the producers.
Oh, cool.
And then I come up with the lyrics afterwards. And sometimes it works the other way around. I have a piece of lyric that becomes a song, but that's a rare occasion that happens. But yeah, for this record there was no such thing. I mean, every song was written, the melody was written first.
And can I ask you, that's my favorite question always, what's the craziest thing you guys ever did on tour?
The craziest thing?
Yeah, or funniest thing.
Oh, this is such a difficult question.
And you can only share what you want to share. I don't know, maybe some things are too crazy or too personal.
I mean, because it's difficult to choose from. But I mean, the everyday reality on tour is crazy. Because I mean, every time when you're on tour, you're living in I call it submarine life. Because you know, you're in a tube. It's a tour bus, so you sleep in there, you live in there, in the bus. 14 of us. Because there's a tour manager, there's the sound engineer, there's the bus driver, there's the t-shirt or the merchandise man, there's the band. I mean, everybody's in there. Somebody is having the time of their life. They're having the best party in the world. And there's only a small or a thin piece of curtain in between somebody who's having a nightmare in his bunk, or calling home, having a major meltdown, having a real crisis, or maybe somebody has broken their arm and it threatens to cancel the whole tour. It's always a complete cloud of chaos. But yeah, craziest thing, so difficult to choose from. But we've only kind of like done stupid decisions, but we've learned from them. Nowadays we're old and wise.
Oh, good. Happy to hear that. Do you want to say anything to your fans?
Yeah, I mean, the world is a shitty place and it's a tough one. We hear bad news all the time. But, you know, let us be the soundtrack for your fun night out. Let us be the small mini vacation from all the shit news that you get. Just take it easy, have fun, listen to Reckless Love.
Cool, I will do that exactly when I listen to your gig today. Thank you so much, Olli.
Thank you.
And goodbye from the Music Interview Corner.